Hey folks, good morning. James Azar here with the CyberHub podcast for your daily practitioner brief. Before we get started though, make sure you subscribe today to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, so just make sure you hit the subscribe button right here. We do appreciate your support. You can get our full PDF and our full written version of our practitioner brief on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. You can get that there daily, so just make sure you go and you check that out. Now let's get right into our practitioner brief. It's September 22nd, 2020, and this is the, for those who don't know, this whole week is the week of atonement in Judaism. And so this whole week we are supposed to be praying in and asking for forgiveness ahead of Yom Kippur next week, where we fast for 25 hours and we pray. And so each and every single day this week, we'll talk a little bit about something. We'll talk a little bit about forgiveness, folks. Just mix in a little bit something with cyber. We do need to talk about that slightly. It's definitely something important for all of us. So let's get started with our practitioner brief. We'll come right back to that. So DHS issues a dire patch warning for Zerologon. So Zerologon, we reported on that last week. A very, very big bug within the Microsoft ecosystem. CISA issued an emergency directive issued by DHS Secretary Wolf, and the deadline was last night at midnight. And essentially what that means is that every single federal agency has to update their Zerologon. Now, if you see this on the federal side, please understand that on the civilian side, it's that dire. The DHS rarely issues this kind of directive. This directive is extremely important, apparently, for DHS, as now there's proof of concepts in the wild. There's a proof of concept of being able to take advantage of this bug on GitHub. So, folks, patching. We are working on a really cool patching song I'll be adding into the podcast here real soon. And so you guys can play that also in your businesses. It'll be free to download. In another story where a Google App Engine features abused to create a Google App Engine feature abused to create unlimited phishing pages. So a newly discovered technique by researchers show how the Google App Engine domains can be abused to deliver phishing and malware while remaining undetected by leading enterprise security products. For those who don't know what the Google App Engine is, it's a cloud-based service platform for developing and hosting web apps on Google's servers. Reports of the phishing campaign leveraging enterprise cloud domains are nothing new, but this makes it extremely risky in how subdomains get generated and paths are routed. So typically, cybercriminals use cloud services to create malicious apps. They get assigned a subdomain, then they host the phishing pages there, or they may use an app as a command and control server to deliver malware payloads. But in this case, the URL structures are generally generated in a manner that makes them easy to monitor and block using just basic enterprise security products. However, this here is a bit more complicated in the case of the Google App Engine, simply because the Google App Spot domain allows you to create a major subdomain as part of the app. So it can represent a bunch of different things to create trust and bypass these specific security controls you have in place. And so there's also parts of it that have an SSL certificate that's issued by the Google Trust Services. So an extremely fascinating way of how they're using essentially ease of business against us. Google didn't give this, I think, thought in terms of players using criminals using this, but they are. We have a lot more details on this on our website, again, cyberhubpodcast.com. You can get it there as well. In our third story for today, NSA issues a cybersecurity guidance for remote workers and system admins. 2 different documents have been issued by the NSA, also with recommendations from the NSS, that is the National Security System, and the Department of Defense. Titled, the first one is Compromised Personal Network Indicators and Mitigation, talks about how to realize that teleworkers are exposed and have been compromised, and then how to deal with that. The second one is titled Performing Out-of-Band Network Management, and it provides system admins information on how to isolate management traffic from operational traffic to ensure a compromised device or malicious traffic doesn't affect your entire network. The NSA has a bunch of recommendations on this. Again, something great you can watch and read on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. We'll dig into that a little bit more. Other news I found very, very interesting today. Russia wants to ban the use of secure protocols such as TLS 1.3, DOH, DOT, and ESNI. Very interesting story out of Russia. Texas businesses have been targeted by a Department of State Health RFQ phishing, and a leaked FinCEN reports reveal sensitive security details of some of the U.S.'s major financial institutions, including some of our largest banks. That's it for our practitioner brief here today, folks. I want to thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Make sure you subscribe. That helps us continue to grow. Go onto our website at cyberhubpodcast.com or click the link here below if you're listening or watching, and sign up for our newsletter. Again, every 2 weeks, you'll be getting a simple email with all of our podcasts, all of the links, just to kind of keep you up to date in case you miss any of those. Until tomorrow, we'll be back with so much more, folks. Stay cyber safe.